I'm Audrey Jowers, one of the Our Healthy Heart clinical health coaches at Atherotech Diagnostics Laboratory. I want to talk with you about a medical condition called hyperlipidemia. Hyperlipidemia, which basically means too many fats or lipids in the blood, sounds complex, but is actually an umbrella term used for a few more commonly known disorders. Today, I'm going to highlight 3 of the disorders we see in situations of hyperlipidemia: high cholesterol, high triglycerides, and high Lp(a) cholesterol. Let's start with cholesterol. There are 2 main types of cholesterol: LDL or bad cholesterol and HDL or good cholesterol. An easy way to remember this is L for lousy is bad cholesterol and H for healthy is good cholesterol. Each type of cholesterol has a specific function it performs, and that function correlates to either a risk or benefit. LDL or bad cholesterol takes cholesterol to the arteries and can accumulate plaque, increasing risk of heart disease. HDL or good cholesterol helps by removing cholesterol from the arteries, which slows the development of plaque. Our bodies need cholesterol. In fact, our bodies, specifically our livers, produce all the cholesterol we need to aid in the building of cell membranes, vitamin D, and certain hormones. However, sometimes cholesterol levels become imbalanced due to poor diet and lifestyle or certain genetic influences. Fortunately, cholesterol levels in most people are positively affected by healthy diet and lifestyle. If you have high LDL, bad cholesterol, you want to do the following things. Achieve a healthy weight. Aim to keep your BMI between 18.5 and 25. If you are overweight, weight loss in itself can have a very positive impact on cholesterol levels. Exercise. Aim to achieve a target of 60 to 90 minutes of modest intensity physical activity most days of the week, which totals 150 to 175 minutes per week. Limit saturated fats such as high-fat meats, butter, cheeses, and dairy products made from whole and 2% milk. Also limit saturated fats from plants such as palm and palm kernel oil, cocoa butter, and coconut oil. Now, I know what you're thinking. Some of these foods have very beneficial properties, like coconut oil and grass-fed beef. Yes, they do have healthful properties, but if eaten in excess, their levels of saturated fat will increase LDL cholesterol in some people. Therefore, it is best to keep saturated fat to a minimum. More dangerous than saturated fat, however, is trans fat, an artificial fat created through an industrial process that adds hydrogen to vegetable oil, causing the oil to become solid at room temperature. This partially hydrogenated oil is less likely to spoil, so foods made with it have a longer shelf life. The manufactured form of trans fat, known as partially hydrogenated oil, is found in a variety of food products like commercially baked desserts, packaged convenience foods, stick margarines, and deep-fried foods. The key to avoiding trans fat in packaged foods is to read the ingredient label. In the United States, if a food has less than 0.5 grams of trans fat in a serving, the food label can read 0 grams trans fat. Yes, this is deceptive labeling, and to combat that, check the food's ingredient list for partially hydrogenated vegetable oil, which indicates that the food does contain some trans fat, even if the amount is below 0.5 grams. Now, let's look at the foods that are beneficial in lowering LDL cholesterol, like monounsaturated fats, found in plants like nuts and avocados. Soluble fiber, also beneficial, is found in oats, barley, flaxseed, dried peas and beans, fruits, and cruciferous vegetables. And lastly are stanols and sterols, which are phytochemicals that work to absorb and remove cholesterol from the gut. They are found naturally in vegetables, nuts, seeds, cereals, dried peas and beans, rice bran, and wheat germ. Hopefully that gave you a good overview on how to improve your cholesterol levels. Now, let's move on to triglycerides. Triglycerides are a type of fat, lipid, found in your blood. When you eat, your body converts any calories it doesn't need to use right away into triglycerides. The triglycerides are stored in your fat cells. Later, hormones release triglycerides for energy between meals. While we need some triglycerides for good health, elevated triglycerides increase your risk for heart disease and need to be monitored. To improve your triglyceride level, achieve a healthy weight. Aim for a BMI between 18.5 and 25. Just like cholesterol, weight loss can have a very positive impact on triglyceride levels as well. Exercise. 60 to 90 minutes of modest intensity physical exercise, totaling 150 to 175 minutes per week. Smoking cessation. If you smoke, strive to stop. Smoking increases triglycerides. Limit foods high in refined or highly processed carbohydrates, such as regular soda, juice, sugar-sweetened foods and beverages, honey, agave, syrups, and jellies. Increase omega-3 fatty acids, which are found in cold water fish, such as salmon, herring, mackerel, anchovies, and sardines, as well as in some plant products, such as flaxseed, walnuts, tofu, and soybeans. Lastly, practice proper portion control, specifically with carbohydrates. Aim to keep all carbohydrates, such as fruits, beans, legumes, whole grain breads, brown rice, and sweet potatoes, to 1/4 of your plate at all meals. Individuals with high triglycerides often have elevated VLDL, remnants, which are VLDL3 and IDL, and small dense pattern B LDL. In excess, these lipoproteins will create a greater risk factor for heart disease, but they are treated exactly the same way you treat triglycerides, with a carb-controlled, low-sugar diet, weight loss if needed, exercise, and increased omega-3 fatty acids. Now let's talk about Lp(a) cholesterol. Lp(a) cholesterol is an LDL-like particle that is made in the liver and carries cholesterol through your arteries. The amount of Lp(a) you have is genetically determined. If you have Lp(a) cholesterol, like 1 in 4 people do, you are at increased risk for heart attack and stroke. This is because Lp(a) is 10 times more atherogenic than LDL or bad cholesterol, and it is prothrombotic or pro-clotting. You can't change the amount of Lp(a) you have in your system any more than you can change any other genetically determined trait. But there are situations that will make Lp(a) more dangerous. Think of Lp(a) like a can of gasoline in your garage. On its own, a can of gasoline will do no harm. However, if you light a fire around that can of gasoline, you're going to have an explosion. This holds true for Lp(a) as well. On its own, Lp(a) will do no harm. However, if you light the fire of high LDL or high triglycerides, high blood sugar, high blood pressure, or an unhealthy lifestyle, Lp(a) could manifest in the form of increased risk of heart attack or stroke. If you have elevated Lp(a), aim to get your LDL or bad cholesterol under 100 milligrams per deciliter, and be more proactive in controlling the other issues mentioned above. Again, you can't change the amount of Lp(a) you have in your system, but you can control the risk it poses.